Back to grinding for the falcon. The falconer. Oh, actually, I need to check something real quick. Do what? Cause I'm... Right. So I need 2 points here. So that way I can put like probably 4 points here into 5 points here. Actually, no, we just need, I'm just gonna put the 1 point here and then put like 5 points here. Oh wait, no, because I still need to make it over here, right? So we need to put 5 here and then 5. Because... Oh, no, okay, we can put like 2 points here, obviously, for the increased melee damage. And then I want to put like a point here and like 4 points here. So then I can put 5 points here. I want the Dusk Shroud chance on hit, like on melee hit. And then after that, we'll just go back to capping out shit in the Falconer tree. But we're almost 70, so it's gonna take a little bit. We'll still have like a decent number of passive points left over, I feel. The biggest issue is just getting more of the Falcon Fist. I need some with legendary potential. And then if I can get a scavenger with legendary potential, that'd be nice. I need to change my my thingy. Look at this one. I need to change this because the ornate one is not the one I actually want. The large idol's actually pretty good. You know, the legendary potential thing is actually really smart on their end. Because, like, for instance, in Path of Exile, when you get your unique, if it didn't, like, the only other, like, if you have a unique, right, and you have a build that requires a unique, and you get the unique, unless it rolls really shittily, you're generally pretty much done looking for the unique, like, actively. Because, after that, it's not something you can really, like, chase, because it's, like, getting perfect rolls is such a hard thing, right? But with legendary potential, chasing the legendary potential drops, and even then in a lot of cases, like getting the perfect roll oftentimes is like barely, it's not much, you know, it's like a 1 or 2% increase. But like trying to get the legendary potential, getting legendary potential 4 and being able to put like, or even just 3, right? Putting 3 to 4 extra stats on a unique like is insane. Because then because like what it does is it like compounds the grinding, right? And the fact that not only are you grinding for legendary potential, you're grinding for like varying levels of legendary potential, and you're grinding for now exalted here in that vein to have like good stats that you want for the legendary potential, right? Amigo, stand by. Linnea Calvin, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Please enjoy your stay. What am I doing? I'm alright. A little bit of a headache, but we're chilling. Take care for these last 5. A little bit. Oh. Not really last 5. We'll get it to. Try to get it to 26. I need to put these in. Big break from work and watching games. Nice, nice. Have you played last epoch? Or are you playing it now? Need to like organize at some point, but I'm too late. This one has... Plague on hit. Point for damage over 20 enemies affected. Interesting. Yeah, it's the one that officially left early access recently. It's been in early access for I think like a couple of years. I think I've owned it for about like 2 years personally. I never got too crazily deep into it while I played it, mostly because like I have this bad tendency where if I play a early access game way too much, I don't play it when it officially releases. Even when they add a bunch of new stuff. That's what happened to me with Hades. Like a lot of people were playing like Hades because after officially released because it was really good. But I played so much of it during early access that I just didn't feel like playing it. Which kind of sucks, which I kind of want to go back to finish playing Hades, because I haven't finished the whole like story loop thing yet. Better than Dota? Well, I mean, they're different genres, right? Like Dota is more of a MOBA like League of Legends, while Last Epoch's more like Diablo style, Path of Exile style. Have you played those games? I don't know if I'd say it's better than Dota, but it's definitely a different itch to scratch, if that's what you're looking for. I kind of wish they would like, I don't know, customize the shrines less on like the map and more like whether it's a buff shrine or if it's a shrine that drops like stuff. Oh, sheesh. I've ever been there. It's not gonna be better than the other one I found. Pretty good. Experience it? Alright, I will be looking forward to the recap. I haven't found the mage dude. Right. Play Tekken 8 yet? No, I haven't touched the fighting game in a long time. The only other game, like new game I've recently played, because generally I play Apex and Teamfight Tactics, like Apex Legends and Teamfight Tactics is usually the two games I spend the most time recently playing. But the only other new game I've played is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which was a game I've been waiting like, I think like 6 years or something to come out, which was really good. If you like JRPG style games with like an action-y gameplay loop, it's definitely worth looking into. I think they did a really good job on it. And we already know that it's getting a new, like, at least one new boss fight in March. And then, the new characters added in April, but we don't know if the new characters will be, like, free content or not yet. But I've heard really good things about Tekken 8. I just don't know if I'd ever get back into a fighting game. I used to play a lot of fighting games when I was younger. But the amount of time investment it takes just to even get, like, become a basic beginner on it is just way too much time investment for me. But I do like watching people play. Like, when I'm not streaming, if I'm doing something grindy on, like, off stream or, like, doing some other stuff, I'll watch, like, low margin recaps to see like what he's doing in the new Tekken, because I'm a pretty big King fan. He's who I used to play a lot when I would play Tekken. Him and Armored King would be my two mains. A little bit of Marduk on the side. Oh. Pretty good for melee stuff. Yeah, bleed staff though. Devil Jin and Hwarang. Yeah, like Hwarang is like, it's really his like the kicks. The way they do his kicks is pretty interesting. It's just I've always been a big fan of like grapplers in a lot of fighting games I play. So it's just like, and King's like ability to chain grapples together has always been really fun. Also, there's just, I don't know, it brings a smile on my face when I get to rolling death cradle someone who doesn't know the breaks. Or even if they do know the breaks, but you can like, you know, do the switch ups and they get the wrong one. But Tekken's definitely has like a lot of different characters that are really interesting. Like I think like the only main regret I have is like so I own Tekken 7, but I didn't get to play it too much. And I didn't have a controller for the longest time when I owned it. But like I never got around to getting Geese Howard, and I always wanted to like buy that character pack to play it because he looked pretty fun. New characters too. Yeah, I saw the dancing one that everybody. It's basically it's like the Tekken 8's version of Eddie Goro. The dancing girl who has like a dancing regimen thing that she does. That one seemed pretty interesting. And then the what's her face, the daughter or whatever. Or at least the one portrayed as the daughter. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like a S2 baby. The whole storyline. I have never actually I've played through Tekken's story, but I've never actually, to be honest, about half the times like I think from what was it? I think it was like after it was either 4 or 5 where they like retconned the whole thing and they restarted it from like the beginning with the Iron Fist tournament stuff, now being like super high tech and like clones and stuff like that, and I was just like, alright, I have lost interest. Like the only storyline I somewhat kept up with, and then they also like retconned a decent amount of it, was like the Armored King storyline. It was just like King's mentor was the Armored King, and then like Marduk kills Armored King, and then another Armored King pops up, and everybody's like, oh my goodness, who's that? And it's like the twin brother, who, you know, used to also wrestle with him. Which is why, like, when King first, like, meets Armored King in the story at the time, like, they would, like, he would try to beat him up because that was, like, the brother showed up after King, like, had made peace with Marduk over killing his mentor. And, and the brother was just like, what the fuck? But I think they retconned some of that. I don't know what the story between them is now. Horror games? Not really. I'm not too big on horror games, mostly because I find them boring. I don't particularly enjoy games where it's like I have to run from things and I can't like fight back. Like I tried to do the Alien Isolation game because I heard really good things about it, and then I got kind of like just annoyed with it because like it was just like every little thing I couldn't like fight anything. It's like you couldn't pick a fight with the people because then the alien pops up. Couldn't pick a fight with the androids because the alien pops up. And it's like I get like the premise of the game is like sneaky, don't attract attention, but like I rarely ever play games like that just because I don't find that particularly enjoyable. Yeah, I remember like that was a big one, was when they did the reveal where it's just like, oh, it's Armored King, and everybody's like, wait, he's alive? And it's like, no, he's dead, it's just the brother. The brother or the teammate, I don't remember, but I remember it was like a really close thing. Oh, it's nice, we have 2 ring ones. So we can get a decent ring? Because people also found it weird that Armored King was trying to like beat up regular King. Do like some, yeah. Like I don't mind watching people play it. Like there's a couple people I know who they stream like Dead by Daylight, like stuff like that, or they'll do like Phasmophobia, and like it'll be interesting to watch them, like watch someone who knows what they do and stuff like that. But like for me personally, it's not a game loop I personally enjoy. I think the only one, what is it? I think the Amnesia series is probably the only one I'd consider playing, because from seeing which I think I have some of them, seeing the gameplay loop for those seemed pretty interesting, because it wasn't like complete horror. Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. Is that why a lot of people have been... I've seen some people picking up Poppy's Playtime recently. Is that why? They released like a new chapter? Cause I just thought, like, Poppy's Playtime was one of the ones I've watched people play, and it seemed kind of interesting. With the whole, like, different hands and stuff like that, and activating the stuff. That's a horror game that, like, I watched it and I'm like, oh wow, they did it. Like, the premise on it I feel is a little bit more interesting than a lot of the other ones. Released recently? Oh, okay. I was wondering why. Like, I'd seen a lot of people playing it again recently that I know, and I'm like, did they do something for that? Both enough. I'm scared in it? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've definitely seen, yeah, the jump scares are definitely pretty spicy from what I've seen from people playing it. Oh, 2 idol shrines. Are ghosts? Oh, did they add ghosts with the new chapter? Because like at least a lot of people I know I think were playing more like the intro part, so it was mostly just running from the toys. I'm not too sure like what's new and what isn't. I think it's at 30. Please. Chasing scenes are dope. Yeah, I feel like that's probably like one of the big ones, or at least the memorable ones. Like, someone I know who like would talk to me about horror games, about Poppy Playtime. The memorable one was the one that, like, you know, you had to do the chase sequence, where you have to like time things properly, or else, you know, they'd come and they'd nom your kneecaps off. Which I feel like any good like true blue horror game, like that's a big thing, is like having a decent like chase sequence that feels like scary and suspenseful, but not like too much of a pain. Cause I know, what is it, Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever, there was a chase sequence on one of them that at least some of the people I knew really didn't like it, because they were just like, it felt ridiculous from the way the game worked. What's my reaction? To be fair, a lot of people were looking for, because I streamed when I did the 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 Alien Isolation one, and people were really curious how I was gonna react. And honestly, like, it became less of a way for me to be like spooked and more of just like, oh, what kind of like, because it would be like the alien would pop up like literally out of nowhere. And I'd be like, oh shit, died to the alien again. Whoopsies. It became more of like a comical thing because it's just like, I don't know, like I don't always get too spooked, especially if it's a game where I'm like, all right, this is what's gonna happen. Like if I get spooked like the first couple times if I don't expect it, but after oh, that one's really good. After the a couple times, like I'm like I don't usually get spooked. Usually it's a lot of like, well, shit, gotta restart from scratch. Or if it happens like way too often, I just get annoyed. Which is what happened with Alien Isolation. Was I just got annoyed because like the alien was just popping up way too much in my opinion. But it's also just because the way I'm not very good at like stealthy games. Oh, pretty good. What do we have? Good Sentinel. Oh, right, I have those. Yeah, these are the ones I need to start. Well, to be honest, I want the adorned ones, but I haven't had that option yet. I'm assuming that's one of the options I can get from the ones I haven't gotten, which is why we're spending so much time running these. Okay. Okay. I was kind of curious if that would dip me below. Oh. On some of the reactions. Yeah, I just know that like my reactions, especially for most horror games, it's not what people are expecting. And I don't really particularly feel like it's super entertaining just to watch someone be like, well, shit, I died. Or just be like, really? Because I don't know, when it comes to games, I don't really get too spooked. But yeah, I do like want to play more of like the more actiony stuff. Well, minus the Resident Evil stuff. I'm not really too. Like, I've watched a lot of the Resident Evil gameplays, and for me personally, it's not very enticing. But I do have what's it called? There's like, well, I have a couple of the zombie games. Dying Light, I think the first one. I think the Epic gave out for free. Stuff like that, I definitely like playing though. Or it's not necessarily, I wouldn't really classify it as horror, but it kind of has horror-ish elements, or it can, depending on like how they handle the sequences. It's like, for instance, whatchamacallit. So like when I did the Alien Isolation, right, there's another game I played. Like I got a little, a little bored with it, and so I was kind of just like, I think I'll play like something else. And there's another game I had called like Avoid Bastards, which is like a tactical shooter kind of like roguelite game, which I hadn't played yet, but it seemed kind of interesting. To be honest, that one gave me more like, oh my goodness, like more like spooked reactions than the Alien Isolation one did. Because like even though it wasn't a horror game, because it takes place in space, right? Like the premise is you're this like prisoner that's getting sent out into space to like find the resources, and then you're trying to like get your freedom, which requires you to get like different items as you go. And there's a lot of like survival stuff kind of into it, but like a lot of the spaceships and stuff like will have like lights out or stuff like that, and it was kind of like there was a couple. It was pretty spooky. It was pretty spooky, but it was also enjoyable, right? Because like it was for me personally, because it was like, you know, I could shoot things that were trying to like my chicken nuggets. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. How's life hitting me? Well, the weather apparently wants my head to implode because it's kind of going, keeps yo-yoing between hot and cold and raining a lot, so my head's like killing me. Name of the game? The name of the game is Void Bastards. V-O-I-D Bastard. I think it's like usually regular price, like 10 bucks or something. I know they're coming out with another game. Recently, I watched the trailer for it recently, but like, for me personally, like if you like roguelites, especially like shooters, I definitely suggest at least checking it out or putting it on like a wish list because it's pretty good in my opinion. Like it doesn't do anything super fancy, but I feel like it does a pretty good job doing what it needs to do. And I say this as someone who's played a lot of like roguelites. But I don't particularly enjoy when like there's one that's like kind of boring or doesn't bring something that I consider like new enough to the table.
Easy, too easy.
Like for instance, was it recently? Deep Rock Galactic released their version of a Vampire Survivors game, and I was watching a friend of mine play it, who because he really enjoys Deep Rock, and like I wasn't overly impressed enough. And it was because it just didn't do enough different, in my opinion. Busy too, I imagine, with the work, yeah. Lots of things lining up all at once, or is it that's just the usual take on it? Good one's good now. Struggling to achieve your goals. You want to become a game developer in the future? So learning about it these days. Oh, that's a pretty lengthy goal, honestly. That's definitely takes a lot of know-how. A good thing though is that there's definitely a good number of resources nowadays for it. So at least, you know, I imagine that helps a decent amount. Side hustle at Metal for your designer. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. I'm not really good at designing stuff personally. I always am pretty impressed by people that's kind of the thing they do. Mixing games and play it for sure, especially if it's an RPG. I'm probably gonna play it. That's usually the type of games I play. RPG or some sort of like action shooter or something. Don't worry, I'll definitely play it. I'll definitely play it. Oh. Are those? Oh, those are all. Oh, sheesh. Those are all rogue ones. They're mostly ornates though, which good kind of, but hopefully there's a decent one in there. Actually, I don't think they were all ornates. I think they were the other ones. Yeah, the one I already used. The grand ones. Oh, he just Got splatted. I wasn't expecting that. Deal, let's go. That's the spirit. Do you have any RPGs you like to play? Have you played any recently at least? Fine. The last like 3 maps I couldn't find this. I appreciate the, enthusiasm, but I'm gonna have to pass. I'm not very good at giving feedback on that kind of stuff. I'm sure you would know more. You'd be more experienced with it. Not real big on like designing and reviewing projects, personally. I did something that I did. I thought it did something that didn't. I just like instantly killed it. Yeah, but that's the thing though. It's like I'm not like I don't really know what to tell if something looks good or not and that sort of stuff. I kind of just I usually leave that to other people. Like if you ask me generally, I'm probably just gonna give you a thumbs up and be like, yeah, not bad. Like I'm basically anything. Oh. Nice, I only got to 30. I have to sort through all those. Alright. How many of these are worth Acolyte? Put these here. Major. Don't know. I mean, it's not even a case of like streaming or not. I'm just not usually like I'm not the type of person you should be asking for that kind of stuff because I'm just not good at it. Not really the kind of thing I do. I do appreciate you thinking I could be, but I assure you that I am not, honestly. Alright, I'm hoping at least one of these can replace the one. No. I don't care with decoy. Not terrible. Not terrible. I don't really care for that. All right, I hope your work goes well. Thanks again for the follow. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good rest of the day. Make sure stay hydrated, get some food, get well rested. That's not a bad ring. Thank you, thank you. I do appreciate it. I do hope to see you again in the future. Uh, oh. Oh, yeah, sure, we'll shatter. Channel everywhere. Thank you, thank you. I do appreciate that. I'll do this one, and then go through the missions, and hopefully we can get a decent, like, power thing. To be fair, I might just leave it on the unique one if I get that one again. Oh, is this the wave one? This is the...
They won't forget.
I think there was like something like alive in a corner or something, and the bird went and killed it. Base speed. Unchant. Speed. I don't understand why this isn't just like in the middle. A little weird for... Oh, hey, that was a lot of idols. Uh, anything usable? Let's see. Alright. Damage over time, poison resistance. That's not the worst. Lightning damage with shuriken based. Oh, that could be a pretty interesting thing. I do have the unique for that. Unfortunately, it has bow damage instead of melee, but we can still work with that. Health on kill. Increase area of mirage attacks with lethal mirage poison resistance. Critical strike multiplier while dual wielding. Increase damage while wielding a dagger. Just from my therapist. Uh, Lethal Mirage, yeah, it's this one. Oh, and you can turn it into lightning. What does this one do? Great shadows on kill. All places with target shadow. Bleed chance to poison chance. Dagger's thrown. That's pretty cool. Hurricane. Now channeled and throws daggers 3 times a second. Rapidly drains your mana. Do not regenerate mana while channeling. Oh, so you can turn into a channel blade. That's pretty cool. For sword or dagger. I honestly do want to do a blade master. I feel like it'd be pretty fun. I should probably go try to get more. To be honest, I feel like they just need to put like us like something where I don't know, give me like a button or something. I mean there might be, I haven't looked. But like a button to teleport to the observatory. So like that. Would be nice. What do we got? Chronomancer, Jolra. Oh. Wait, what's the reward for that? Rune 11. There it is. Hello. Welcome in. How have you been? Have you been having fun with the new Apex season? Arena key time 6. Tier 4. I do have that. I'll grab that because I can do that later. I do want to do another Soulfire run. This one I haven't played much Saturdays. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. For the alert. Yes, yes. Having a pretty good time. Pretty good time. Especially after changing builds. The build's been pretty fun. But I am glad you could stop by. Always appreciate it. It's always nice to see you. Any exalted rings? Bad, not bad. There's. Oh wait, never mind. I'm picking that up. Atlas Arbor. I need to buy the one for. Hold on. Wait, what rank is this? Rank 5? We're almost at rank 5. Go over here. Nice scorpions. Not at the corruption stuff yet. Bear. Unique belt, that'd be pretty nice. When I hit rank 5, I need to get get the monolith. The monolith lens. So that I can try to get more monolith missions. Alright, 300 is good enough. Mm-hmm. Ah. That's alright, come down. Oh wait, did we complete the prophecy? Probably not. Pretty doubtful. Why did I grab this? This is what I want. It has dodge rating on it. I'm just dumb. Alright, but I get out of the monolith. I need to like inspect that point. You want like the flat like attack stuff from your passives because you can buff the rest of it pretty good.
Easy. Too easy.
Oh, that was nice. I didn't know he walked up that far. Oh, only 25%, not even worth the shadow. Not even worth the shadow road. Oh, nice, and it has legendary potential. Unfortunately, it rolled lower on the increased dodge rating, but if we can get dex on it, then. Poison resistance while transform. Every seconds while in Spriggan form. Oh, so it's a Spriggan belt. I don't know, the dive bomb seems to have a pretty high innate like crit chance to. I see it crit a lot. Fight. Please, oh god, finito, delito. Still anticlimactic when the last boss just falls. Oh, this guy. Daily damage. Ah. Alright. Hopefully we can get a pretty decent blessing. Alright, come here, buddy. There's so many of those. Alright, so we have ornate. Oh, Grand's that one. I do want that one. I don't care about huge idol. I think it's like Grand or Ornate are the two that like, I'm kind of like trying to get. Alright, what do we got? Fire resistance, lightning resistance, poison penetration, mana dodge rating, 119 health. If that was just more resistance on the bottom with dexterity up top, that'd be a pretty good necklace. But I don't really care for it. Increased crit chance with poison resistance. Alright. Finish doing the. Alright, we have 372. I kind of want to do this one just to see if we can get it to 400. And then do. As long as if it gives us 28, I'll do the full 28. If it gives us like 30, I'll do that too. Alright, we have 28. Alright, so I have to do the full 28 then. I forgot that I was going to. I forgot that I was going to. Take that 1 point out.
Easy. Too easy.
I kind of wish they would just make the storm crows like not take damage because the storm crows are so hard to keep alive. Or just if they like for the primalist, right? Or if they die, just make it where they just respawn by themselves after a certain amount of time because the storm crows are so squishy. What's up, Zephyr? How was your day so far? I want to kind of do a lightning shuriken build now. I can't see shit. There was nothing dangerous though. You know, I wonder what the map was. There was a guy on the last Epoch Reddit asking. I took a picture of that and was saying that those trees should be see-through. To be fair, most of the times the trees are, right? Like, there's tall trees here, but if I'm here, you can see them. If I'm here, you can't. I just feel like there's just an oversight of someone oopsied. Oopsie doopsied. They just get forced emergency calls and emails. So, oh my goodness, bro. I'd be. Well, head still kind of hurts because basically there was a thunderstorm at like 6 in the morning, almost. Because my dog woke me up during it. So you know I was right last night when I said that it was probably going to rain. When it just randomly got like a really killer headache out of nowhere. But aside from that, we're chilling. Just working on the build, getting it done. We're almost 5. Wait, what button did I press? Oh, why? Okay, cool, cool. I was wondering how to check that. And you can. Oh, okay. Shit, they should have just taught me this. Oh, okay. I was like curious about that. Oh, I didn't know that that was the button that lets you pull up so you can see your prophecies and stuff without visiting the thingamajiggies. Let's go. Found that by accident. Oh, it's so good. I thought it was weird that there wasn't something like that with all the other features they have in this game. Bro, I'm telling you, Zephyr, if you're looking for an ARPG, you don't want to do PoE, and you don't mind spending some casheronis, Last Epoch's where it's at. Last Epoch's do be where it's at. I don't know. There's a two-handed sword that does fire damage, but if it does, we could use it. Oh, that's actually pretty good. +2 to all attributes also. Fuck, that's actually pretty good. For cold then. Oh, jeez. Okay, I wanted to do a cold build. We're definitely holding on to that one. You don't please obey. Don't. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then without having to worry about the game stopping. That is so simple, mob man. You know, sometimes, hey, you know, sometimes that mob man, he been having a rough days. If you know, sometimes he needs that. You know, he needs that little stutter lag so he can like feel good about himself, so he can respawn in like confidence. Zephy, I can't believe you would try to steal that from him. Mm-hmm. 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 Nah, because I always gotta earn it. You're just like, yeah, dog, you want this, you gotta earn it. I'm just, you know, prepping you for the real world. While Zeph, you beating up the 5-year-old, just like, prepping you for real life, bucko. What? Wait, why am I doing this one again? Did they do a rollback on the server? I completed this last night. Unless I missed something, and I was pretty sure I said Echo conquered. Oh, have you been able to get a replacement for the sword that broke this one? Actually, I want to try this. I just don't think I have enough. Fuck. Whatever. Oh, let's go. We got another sword. We need blades. We used to have commission until a fundraiser ends. See if we can. Ah, hopefully it all goes well. Better get out there, start selling them fencing cookies. Just be working them sidewalks. Be like popcorn for a new blade, popcorn. Don't like popcorn? We got cookies too. Demographics, Bruno's pops for the club. gotta talk to us. True, true. You were born to brainstorm, not to do the storming. Just look around like, which one of you is the sociable bum out of all of us?
You are beneath my skill. With his power, I am
Oh, that's it. I think these echoes things are pretty cool. Just go talk to people. Me, no, I'm scared. You have sword. How can talk? What if they attack? How defend?
this dance will make me God. The Lance's power is exhilarating. Run. I will burn brighter than Raya himself. What are you to a god? You are nothing. This dance will make me a god. The Lance's power is I will burn brighter than Raya himself. Are you to a god? You are nothing. This dance will make you
Guess like the bucko. Increase shield drop rate? That one's pretty good.
unstoppable.
I do like me some shields. Do like me some shields. Some wings, all right. Yeah, we got some extra large wings for the buffalo wing knight. Oh, what's this? Oh, is this his legendary drop? And it said broken sword. 100% chance to gain DSI for 15 seconds when you kill a rare boss enemy. Melee cold damage, increased melee cold damage, freeze rate multiplier, health regen, 10%, 15% increase in melee cold damage per 10 health regen. Huh. Is there a cold? Umbral blades, I guess. I was trying to think of like a dual wielding, like a skill you can dual wield that does cold damage. Thing there. Yeah, no, it would just have to be Umbral blades then. I do want to do a lightning shuriken build, but oh, that'd be pretty cool. You say so myself. Good shot chance. Mm. Oh, I could pop like 2 of these and then use the idol. There's an idol that converts shuriken's damage to lightning. I could save you some passive points to put into other stuff. I forgot about the chakram. If I'm not mistaken, when I tried this with this, it threw it in a circle. I don't remember though. Oh no, this is the one it was, right? Where when I summoned, when I used this one with this one, the chakram would spin around me. That was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Oh, I forget there's also the spell blade. That's also an option. Oh, is that how much stability it costs to do the quest? Huh. Alright, what do I need? Last ruin timeline. It's gonna be a while. Sulfide Bastion. I don't feel like dealing with that one. Deaths of Diamond Matrons. Deaths of Boss. Get exalted rings off of the Diamond Matron. And Deaths of Giant Scorpion. Okay, Giant Scorpions. Where this other one? Oh, that's right, we unlocked this. Let's see what the Black Sun one is all about. What you got for me? What you got for me? Come on, come on. Oh, the rare relics would be interesting. Just gold to that. Man. Bonus. Physical penetration with shadow daggers. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Why did it have to be health? If that was like resistance, that'd be really good. Or at least for this build, it'd be really good. Probably make that work on a different build. It's just that like the two defensive suffixes are taken. Buddy. Oh. It just dropped meteors. Oh, it's this one. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's there's two like, in this one's their spires, and the ice one there were two shrines where they would shoot at you until you broke them. I think that's really cool. I wonder if you can get legendary potential on set items. I don't think you can. It's kind of interesting because like the way they did this was really smart, right? Because like the monolith system is definitely inspired by the Atlas on Path of Exile, but then they also incorporated the kind of Greater Rift bar mechanic from Diablo 3, where you have the bar that fills up, but then they tweaked it to fit their own thing with the stability stuff. I still might end up making a video for this build, but I was kind of sad because I was like, oh, nobody's like doing anything for this. So I could do a video and kind of like put my 2 cents forward on it. And then YouTube was just like, you sure about that? And yesterday literally showed me a video that someone made yesterday on it. And I was like, oh. Hedge. Oh, that's actually really good. That was a two-handed mace. Would be pretty solid, probably. Well, even though I think the spin to win build could still use both of them. Because it's got 133% damage over time, 37% chance to ignite, has melee physical damage on it with heavy. I still think it can get converted. And then it comes with 12% fire penetration just built into it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But like I hadn't seen like anybody making any videos with the Falcon Fist. Mostly because I think like a lot of people weren't too. I don't know. I feel like you know you got to be a specific type of gamer to be willing to do unarmed builds, especially considering that like from what I've seen, there's not a lot of stuff that's good for unarmed, right? Like I haven't seen another item, right, that gives me a buff for not having, you know, for being unarmed. Because, like, if there was, like, you know, a defensive thing or something, I would have taken it. Because I don't think there's nothing in the tree either for it, for being unarmed. There's a lot of, like, one-handed, two-handed stuff, but not so much, like... You know, stuff for bows and all that kind of jazz, but... Throwing damage. Which is weird, considering that the rogue, you can tell, is kind of supposed to be... kind of fill some of that, like, martial arts fantasy, because, like... It has the shurikens. It has a bow staff as one of its uniques for the shuriken. Right? Like... I feel like it'd be kind of... You'd figure that it would have... Ooh, plus one at detonating it. You figure it would have, something for unarmed, but it doesn't. At least not from what I've seen. I'm assuming there might be more items, like... I've definitely been on the lookout for, if there's any uniques, like rings or anything that give me, like, offensive or defensive bonuses for being unarmed. Wait, what prophecy? A prophecy for killing mages? Oh, it was something for rings. That's what he gave me. It was exalted rings. I do have a couple other builds cooking. Like, I don't know. It has like, this game has always had this effect where I'll make a character that I've been really curious about, and then I'll get an item that makes me want to make another character. Right? Like, I have at least 2 setups in mind potentially for 2 more rogue characters. One for sure is a rogue character, because it has to be, because it's a rogue specific skill. The other one, I'm kind of just thinking that it's the best case for the setup, which is the beekeeper one. Because I have 2 of those swords, and I have the gloves. And so like what I'm thinking is that I'll just run I'll just run a blade master. Oh, that's a really cool fucking model. Physical. Oh, I kind of want to use this, honestly. Not that one. Or not this one, I mean. This one, yes. This one, no. Mm-hmm. Product resistance with ward decay. Fuck, why did I have to roll something I want on something I don't care? Like on a base that doesn't do me any good. This would be really good. The Primalist. I need to go there for the relic. Try to see if I can get a better relic. Because my relic's not that good. I don't know, it has a lot of systems that are pretty good intertwined together. Oh. How many of those do I need? Supposed to be 6, but it's not. I don't know if that one's bugged. Because I've definitely killed 3 of them. Mama.
Easy. Too easy.
Hello. Oh my goodness, Momo's so big. So big. Okay, it did work. Okay. It just wasn't showing it. But hello. How are you feeling? There's no way. Because that wasn't... Wasn't that the... Oh no, those are the diamond matron ones. Oh, okay, never mind, that is. That is the... In pain, actually? Oh, no. I mean, to be fair, I am with you. I had a really bad headache last night, and it thunderstormed during the night, which my dog woke me up in the middle of, and so I still kind of have a headache. Oh, I could use that. Just I have melee damage. How much damage do I lose if I... Is that melee damage? I also have resistances on it, like a lot. Are my buffs off? Okay. 5, 6. I have 9. That's pretty decent. It's a pretty decent drop. Especially because this just gives me increased blood damage. Probably won't be- I was just thinking about it because it has glancing glow stuff on it. Substantial amount too, doesn't it? 22% chance. Like that would pump me up, I think, to like almost 60%. Maru Marimo magic. Oh my goodness. Truly the Marimo hero we need. Yeah, I'm hoping that maybe within like a couple of weeks or whatever the weather kind of fills out. Or at least stabilizes. So I don't have to deal with this like headache that I have going on. But we shall see. But yes, I do hope your pain passes quickly, Momo. Have you been doing any more of your little doodly doos? You want to clean and color? It's a gift. Let's go. Nice, nice. Nice. Glad that you had some come out that you really liked. Oh, the Solarium braces. Good strike on them. Doesn't mean shit to me because I can't use them.
Might have to drop something.
Oh, I should probably. Gordon Gale. Bleed duration, block effectiveness. 80% chance. Potion. Increased area movement. Actually, ready to block chance. 35% less damage. Damage. Increased fire damage over time, vitality, intelligence, bleed chance converted to ignite chance. That's for the visit. Is something greater? Rather just destiny. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Down. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's it. Oh, they're quite literally the same item. Iron glass. The other thing I don't like is it doesn't like. I'm assuming that's probably within the name. Like it's probably Corsairs something. Last Bears something for the other items. But I have yet to find like 2 items of a set bonus. Yet. Did you be a little shy? Did you be a little sad? Increase minion damage, minion self. I think I have a better one, no? 44%. I won't lie, the price for this shit ramps up pretty fast. Well, I say this, but I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 tabs. I guess it's fair. Mm-hmm. The next one, go. 60. But I mean, to be fair, you don't really spend gold on like pretty much anything else. So, because once you start doing a bunch of the rune stuff, you'll get runes of shatterings, decent amount. What's my favorite color? See how many YouTubers. It is. Well, my favorite colors are like black and like dark purple. Not like too dark of purple, but like a darker shade of purple. Those are kind of like my favorite colors. The darker shade of purple is probably like higher up. There's another void shadow. I mean, my burb is better than their burb. Do that real quick. Rude. I'm gonna put my comfy sweat. Oh, that one actually kind of hurt. Okay, we're at rank 5. I need to go buy some monolith lenses. Yeah, it's kind of sad though, because like a lot of games they'll have like a purple color option for stuff, for, like customization, and then when you actually see it, it's not a very like purpley. Well, it's not very dark purpley. They usually have like the brighter purples or like a more lavender color. Like Warframe's one of those where their purple on a lot of their color palettes is like a very light purple, even when it's like supposed to be dark purple. It makes me cry. So speaking of Warframe, I do need to get... I don't know, I need to have a moment where like there's nothing I want to play so I can get back into Warframe. There's a lot of stuff I need to catch up on. I find my favorite shade, always find the shade you dislike. Yeah, it'd be rough. What about you, Momo? What's the Marimo approved favorite colors? You want to guess? I mean, I'm assuming one of them is green at least. Some shade of green. I do know you generally do a lot of like brighter greens and yellows in a lot of your color palettes for your own stuff. I'm assuming it's in that vein of colors. Favorite is yellow. I see. What does have neon yellows? Be like sunshine and pastel yellow. Yeah, even though I do know whatchamacallit. I guess probably a good thing. Well, because like 14, right, it kind of like depends on the armor, but I do know there's a good number of armors where the yellow is like pastel yellow. That's been one of the things that kind of like trips us up. Especially on the earlier armor sets that were like recolorable. Oh my god, that was... It was like 5D chess trying to figure out what shade you were gonna get. Like you could take, for instance, the wine red dye, and I remember you would put it on a you would put it on you would put it on a on one piece of armor and it would look straight black, and then you put it on another piece of armor and it would look like crimson, and then on another piece of armor it looked like a burgundy. It's just like, it was so bad, the color. It was so inconsistent with how they shaded it. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it was. It's part of the reason why like ink blue dye is always readily available. Because there's a lot of armor sets that the ink blue dye looks pretty much pitch black, so you don't have to get the actual black dye. Because of the way they tinted the armor set, it's really weird. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Bro, where was this on some of the other armor pieces? We have it now, but I don't know how I'm gonna fit it in. Well, actually, no, I don't really care for Divo. If that was Cinder, I'd be smojing. What's up, Jacer? Gracias por el agua. Getting to dye two tones now? Oh, that's really good. Yeah, like, there's always a lot of different things people wanted for the dye system. To be fair, We just accepted the bonus fact of having a die system in an MMO. Looking at you, World of Warcraft. So it's pretty nice. And then the fact that they expanded on it and made like, because like originally it was very specific armor pieces. Like originally it was really only craftable armor pieces you could do it on. And then they did it where if you did the savage version of a raid, you could then color like dye that armor piece. And then eventually they just started making like all of it dyeable due to popular request. And well, really popular demand, honestly. But like, but I was glad that they were willing to do it because a lot of the stuff that like we want is kind of hard to do on the Final Fantasy 14 engine, especially back then before they started doing a lot of the updates to it. Like it's part of the reason they didn't want to, they wanted to hit a point where they didn't want to add like any more races for a long time, because the way the system was coded for how they do armor for the races, which is also why like a lot of the like there's not a lot of like hugely varying race. There's a reason why the human race is like the only race that has like a huge difference between the two like versions, and a lot of that like for body size, and a lot of that is because of how they do the armor. Like they have to like individually wrap the armor around. They don't, at least back then, I don't know if they were able to figure out a way to do it now, but there wasn't a system. Like for instance, World of Warcraft kind of has like a stock system that they can just wrap the image on and it'll fit, right? And then they just stretch and do that sort of like stuff from what I understand. But like for 14 they had to manually like basically carve every piece of gear to fit the exact model, which is why there's always problems with the newer. It's why the Proth guards always had a shit ton of problems, because like they were figuring out how to like put it the way it's supposed to be. So it made it really hard for stuff. It used to be so intense in that? Yeah. I had pretty good reason to do Savage raids. To be fair, I think it still kind of has it. Like, if you, I don't know, I know the last times I looked, the actual raid gear itself, the basic ones aren't dyeable, but the Savage ones are. Because it's kind of a way to, like, give the Savage raiders a way to feel, you know, be like, oh, hey, shit, you know, we're raiding Savage. Stuff like that. So, like, I never really minded it. But it is pretty cool for them to expand out on it and put it to more things. Like dungeon gear and stuff, because there was very, very few dungeon gear that was dyeable back in the day, and now I think like pretty much everything's dyeable, really. Armor and weapons to be implemented. Yeah. I would not be surprised. Because at least on the actual raid side of things, because like for instance, right, like the Alliance raid armors are predominantly dyeable now, from what I remember. But like before, that was another one where they weren't dyeable originally. Like it was really inconsistent though. What was and wasn't dyeable. Because there was some craftable stuff that you could dye, and then there was some craftable stuff you couldn't dye, and then there was like dungeon armors you could dye, and then there was dungeon armors you couldn't. Like it was really inconsistent, like the way they decided like what to make dyeable and what not to make dyeable. There were sometimes you would have a dungeon armor set that like 1 or 2 pieces would be dyeable and the rest of it wouldn't be dyeable in some cases. It was really weird. I don't know how they decided like what was dyeable and what wasn't. But eventually, you know, they were just like, with enough people being like, can we just get like everything to be dyeable, please? And they were just like, alright, bet, we'll work on that. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. Meanwhile, World of Warcraft was like, yeah, we'd like dyeable armor. And they're like, well, you could also become a mythic raider if you want to get that color shade you want.
Too easy.
But I'm doing good, Jed. How's your week? How's the start to your week? I'm dying of this headache, but you know, can't do anything about the weather. Thanks for subscribing again. Smart. Yeah, I'd like to get back into it, but I don't think I'll be able to get back into 14 until I get like stable income. Mostly because I like to play 14 in like bursts. Like, Like, I usually play a lot of it in like a month, month and a half, and then I go do something else. Mostly because like I don't really have anybody to play with anymore. When I used to have like a decent group to play with, I played it every day and I just run dungeons and just stuff like that, just level other jobs. But eventually all I had left was just solo grinding levels on jobs for titles and stuff, and I got really bored and burnt out on it, so I don't really do much. I don't have much patience to be pugging raids anymore, honestly. Like, I do the alliance raids, but that's about it.
Anyway.
Just, Good job, because mental, so back to the art guy. And sometimes that's what you gotta do, honestly. That's what you gotta do. The work is too much, breaking it down, and you just gotta be like, oh, fuck this, I'm out. Peace. Because honestly, a lot of times the paycheck just ain't worth it. Just ain't worth it. But hopefully the art grind's going well. You got burnt out too because you sped through Stormblood. Stormblood's kind of funny because like after it came out, I think to this day, I think it's still considered by a lot of people as like the worst expansion, but I really liked it. I enjoyed Stormblood. Not to mention Stormblood, at least like it's set up a lot for the next expansion story-wise. Like, there's a lot of storylines that were started in Stormblood that were wrapped up nicely in a lot of other ones. Storylines that people liked, also. I thought the writing characterization could have been a lot better. In some ways, yeah. I don't. I feel like it was. I feel like it was good because I feel like Stormblood was always meant to be like a transitionary like expansion where it was meant to tie into future storylines. Like it was meant to be the start of multiple storylines that would like intertwine with each other. I think it did its job. The One Piece. The One Piece is real. Alright, there's Zeffy. Calm down. Goodness. Zeffy, I don't want to deal with people. Also, Zeffy gets on a fucking 2-foot tall box when he hears the song. Be like, the One Piece is real. Just a public place. Jade behind him be like, you tell him, Zeffy. You tell him. It's real. It's real. They don't know. They don't know. Enjoyed it. I mean, I will say, I think like the least part, you know, the monk girl, I think like that's probably like the only one that I wasn't too big of a fan of. Not to use their full potential. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I don't know. Her writing in Stormbolt is kind of weird. It got a little better than the expansions after, right? With like Shadowbringer and Endwalker a little bit, but it was weird. It was a little weird. I don't honestly. I don't even think that they knew what they wanted to do with her. Especially considering one of the only two acceptable Lalafels gave his life for her. Can't believe this. Being a realm record character, you don't have them. Yeah, I honestly think that like she was only supposed to be like a side character, because you can always tell the realm reborn stuff was kind of more around Thancred and Minfilia. And then they were able to expand onto Urianger really good and make him a prominent thing, and maybe he had like actual plans, but like Lice, I think like they just didn't know what to do there. Which is why I think they like basically pulled her out of the Scions. It was just like, yeah, she's over there now. Because she technically was never officially part of the Scions, considering she was just pretending to be her sister. Spoiler alert, anybody who doesn't know, but you know, that shit's like years old now, not my problem, skill issued. Another university had a lovely arc. True, true. Yeah, because like you can tell, because like for instance, a lot of the new characters that got introduced had pretty cool storylines. Even the one lady, I forget her name, the one that got turned into Tsukiyomi for the Primal, he had a really nice storyline. Like a lot of the new characters had really good storylines attached to them. The Yao Ra storyline was really good. And I'm not even saying that because I'm biased to Aras. Like they just had a really good storyline, I feel. But the like Alamigo stuff was a little eh. It was okay, but it was a little eh also at the same time. Something for a freeze right then. Museum steps area. Oh yeah, I would. That was my AFK spot. The floating, like the part that's like in the air, the hub city, the little hub city there. That's where I would like AFK during Stormblood a lot. This is really cool. Museum step based. Like one of the nice. Truly. Mighty Mo of good taste and Mighty Mo of good taste. When you do resub, I would like to see pictures. My apartment looks like... Well, I'm really sad because I used to have like... so... I had a room in the free company. Oh, actually, that was wrong. In the free company that I used to have active, that like disbanded when like during a moment where I wasn't like playing because I was too busy with IRL stuff. But like my room was, I had a lot of stuff for it. A lot of like expensive Tonberry themed stuff. Well, expensive at the time. It's probably pretty cheap now. But I just had like a Tonberry themed room, but then they disbanded, and then like I didn't realize it disbanded because the friend who got me into 14, who was part of that free company, had stopped playing before I stopped playing, like well before. Well, he didn't know either. And like nobody else in the free company had like my privates at the time, because that was like before Discord was kind of like, I think that was around the time Discord started being like popular, or like people started like being like, oh shit, Discord's the thing. So nobody told me that the FC had been disbanded, and when I came back, it had been wave 2 past the reacquisition date from the NPC. So I lost all the stuff at the room. But then I just bought an apartment, and then since that, technically I'm supposed to have forever, but I didn't really have anything for it, and I just tossed a bunch of random stuff that I had in my inventory for it. And then when I tried to look up, like, I was gonna try to like grind dungeons and stuff for pets, because that's usually what I do for Gil, is I just grind dungeons for pets that are worth and just sell them. Or I'll like grind the primal fights that are worth something for that people want to like build stuff from. Like for a while, Ifrit's horns went for quite a bit when they added the like Ifrit wall mount thing. But then I couldn't, like, none of the Tonberry stuff I had was even in, or that I was looking for was even in stock anymore, because people weren't making them. They were kind of a pain in the ass to make. So I just was just like, alright, fuck it, whatever. I'm just gonna leave that stuff alone, and I'll get other stuff in the future when I feel like it. Yeah, if you're, so like if you have a free company room and they lose the house, right? Or you lose the house because like you don't log in for a certain amount of time, I think you have like a month and a half after to be able to go to the NPC and claim all of your like interior stuff. I think you automatically lose the exterior. At least back then. I don't know now. It's been a long time since this happened. It's been a number of years. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe now they have a bit of a different system for it. I have a lot of crafter friends. I mean, to be fair, I had one of the, so like when I rejoined and my FC was like, had like disbanded, I had another group of friends that I knew from when I used to do back when fate farming was a thing. I don't know if you ever experienced, you might have a little bit with the, depending on if you got into the new expansions, but before they added the deep dungeons, the only way to level up alts effectively was to do fate farming. So you just get in a big ass train with a bunch of people, and you'd get in a party and you just grind fates in a circle. Usually in what is it, in the dragon nest area, because those were the most efficient ones that had a lot of them that spawned quickly. So I made a lot of friends through that, which I thought was pretty cool. It was hella monotonous and boring as shit to do, but the community made it good because you just meet the same people and then you just talk while you're waiting for stuff to spawn and stuff like that. And whatchamacallit, some friends I had made from that had a FC that they were like, hey, you can join, and they were all like maxed out crafters and stuff. Like, it was an option to get it done. I just no. I think like realizing that it was all gone, and then part of me was just like, I really don't feel like anything. So I just let it go. I just took it as a sign. I don't know, maybe I'll go back to it. Cause I like Tomberries. Tomberries are one of my favorite like Final Fantasy 14 mobs. Like, I always have a good time when I do the Tonberry dungeon. Or getting chased by the fucking giant Tonberry trying to murder you. A lot of times I'll just be like, take me. Offer myself as a sacrifice. And my friends would be like, my love, you don't get your punk ass over here. Done it. Yeah, hunt trains is another one. Yeah, no, fate trains aren't really, well, ever since they added the deep dungeons, they were no longer like XP efficient, and then they did a lot of the nerfs to them, because what you used to do is specifically for Stormblood, the fates for Stormblood were so bad, like for XP, that people would just go to like Mordona and just grind those because it was so much better XP, and then they started nerfing the crap out of them to get people to stop doing them for some weird reason. I don't know why they even didn't want people to do it, to be honest. But they did the deep dungeon, and that's kind of like the only real way to level outside of like doing like weekly hunts and your daily hunts, because that's what I use for leveling, is the daily hunt system. When I want to level alt jobs, I'll just do the daily hunts, and then I'll just do like whatever level mobs, because you get a lot of XP from those, to be honest. It's a very chill way to just overtime level stuff. Yeah, damn. Any shields in here? Yeah, hunt trains are really good. Hopefully the hunt trains have like stabilized a bit, because back when they first added the ability to be able to visit visit other worlds, it got really annoying with the hunt trains, because what would happen is people from other servers would come over and they would just basically just kill the hunts. Or they would basically do their own hunt train in other people's servers, and it was so annoying. And I remember there was a huge argument about it, because like for instance, I was on Ultros, which is like one of the more populated servers. I don't know how it is now for population size, but at the time, like Ultros I think was like 3rd highest populated NA server, and we had like a system for how we did like the hunt trains and stuff, which got extremely derailed for a while after they did the whole server visit system, because people from the lower pop servers would come over and they would like do their own hunt trains in ours while we were still setting it up, and it was really annoying. Use rescues. I can't. No, he's just trying to give you some. He's just trying to give you a high five, Momo. He's like, you're doing great. You're doing great. Stab, 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 stab. They're stabs of encouragement. When hunt spawns, you see half the server all flying in one area. It's really cute. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, well, for us, it would usually be like, we just report it, because we had, or at least back then. Again, I don't know if the systems are still in place, but like, what we would do is it was like, we had like a there'd be dedicated hunt link shells, and then people would just report if like an A or S rank hunt like spawned, and then like as soon as they saw one, like people would spread out to see if the other ones had spawned, because since usually we killed them all at the same time, they respawn around the same time. Even though S ranks usually require some sort of extra. Like I remember in Stormblood specifically, in order to get one to spawn, you had to throw stuff into a river, and it had a chance to spawn like after its respawn timer was up. And so players would, you know, there would be a player who would just go in there and just start tossing stuff into the river, like discarding stuff out of their inventory in the river to get it to spawn. So it'd be really cool because you'd see this long train of players going, and we'd go for a while. Because like with the more expansions that were added, usually the train got a little longer and longer, depending on like the expansions. The train would a lot of times just last like 2 expansions worth of hunts. That was really fun. That was another, like, I don't know, I like stuff like that because it's like, at least I liked stuff like that before they did the world visit system, because it was a cool way to get to know people on your server. Because since the trains would usually be around the same time because of the respawn timers, like it was just, you would get to know people around and just meet people. Like I got to know a lot of like crafter buddies and just like raid buddies like that I would do content with, like that weren't in my free company, just through those. Dude, like just running into them over like repeatedly. And we just chatted up. Ooh. Oh shit, I got hit by like all 3 of those. Too small? No, trust, mom. Just high five the Tonberry. It will bring you peace and prosperity for the next 30 years. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I don't know, I love Tonberries. Like while everybody else was excited for the Buster Sword and the Final Fantasy collab with Apex, I was excited for the Tonberry badge that I could put on all my banners. So now my banners are 2 Nessie badges with a Tonberry badge, because that's all I need. I also want to get a Tonberry plushie at some point. That was one of the things I had in my room. I had Tonberry lamps, Tonberry floor lamps, Tonberry wall lamps. I had Tonberry plushie, and some other Tonberry stuff. They're all pretty expensive back then. I had to do a lot of like grinding for it. Some of which I had to ask for friends' help to craft. Like I would get the materials and they would craft it for me.
They won't forget that one.
We're seeing vets talking to people. Sometimes it takes sketch commissions for guild too. Oh my goodness, big brain, big brain. Yeah, I see like a bunch of people do a bunch of stuff. Like for instance, what is it? There's a guy. Well, I think there's a couple now that like they're DJs that they do like house parties. And they stream their like house parties and stuff. They can buy from an NPC. Oh, that's cool. I say that it used to just be, yeah, it had to be crafted by a player. Yeah, I do know they made a lot of things easier to get. Like the deep dungeon system was kind of like slightly disliked a bit when they first introduced it, because it tanked the minion market like badly, like very badly, because there were so many minions that used to be rare that became extremely common due to the deep dungeons. And as someone who that was like my main source of like income for Gil was that, I was also kind of like, well shit. It was kind of cool because on one side I was able to get ones that I hadn't been able to get for myself But then on the other side, I was like, well, I can't sell like any of these.
Might have to drop something.
Mm-hmm. Call me home. Songs lost. True. True. Surplus admitted. Give them to Sprouts. Just imagine like Momo's version of like the Hulk giving a taco scene, you know, just with your little minions. Like, yeah. Oh. Call me home. Call me home. Call me home. Wish that was like dodge. Critical strike per dagger equipped increased. I did have a mage one. Mm-hmm. 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 Giant Momo, huge Momo, huge Momo. They make chocolates in game and hand them out too. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's always really cool because Final Fantasy, like, the community is generally one where, like, when you do a lot of stuff like that, like, people tend to reciprocate. Or they just tend to, like, roll with it. It's just like, oh, nice. Like, what was it? For when they first started adding flying to the game, right? Where you had to interact with the things, it became very prominent, especially on Ultros, where, like, people who finished the story and didn't have much to do would just literally park outside and then just offer, like, on their multi-seaters, just offer rides to, like, new players to get all their, like, flight points. So that way they could fly in the area. And, like, I did that when they gave the Final Fantasy 15 R. I did that because I was a 4-seater. I'd give people lists, been like, that's it's really cool, like the little things that like people do in 14. There's also like a lot of people who like what they would do is if there was ever an update where they introduced a lot of like craftable gear for catch up for players who were new or returning players to do the dungeons, like there would be a lot of people who they would like be sitting in the main hub cities offering to make people like at least the basic versions of it so they could get enough gear score to go run the dungeons. Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. Final Fantasy 14 is probably one of the only games I've ever seen where if there's like a mob that's like causing issues for a player near like where they're gathering and stuff, like we'll like hop off our mount and kill the mob and then just carry on with our lives. Like for that player. Especially in the lower level areas, because a lot of times those people were like new players who were trying to like get a feel for the game. That was pretty cool. I like the Final Fantasy XIV community. They had a lot of cool things.
Greetings.
Very helpful community. It's also really interesting to like play that from World of Warcraft, where like in 14, before the whole like World of Warcraft exodus, like in 14 it was
What brings you here?
like pugs were like, it was expected that we were gonna fail a run unless it specified that it was like a farming run one and everybody in it was experienced. Like it was kind of expected that we were gonna be there while trying to figure it out.
Safe travels.
I think it's still like that again now, but I remember when like a lot of WoW players like moved over, they brought like kind of like their pugging mentality where it's like, oh, as soon as you wipe like 2 or 3 times, like they just quit and leave. Because like for 14, a lot of the like 14 raid etiquette was pulled over from like the JP side, and a lot of like the like basically, yeah, just a lot of the etiquette and the way we did things was pulled over from like the JP players, because a lot of times the JP players would come over and they would make like alts on the NA accounts just to like play with us and stuff just randomly, since there was the auto translate system that was good enough to communicate. Like the way 14 does the macros to explain like raid mechanics is specifically from the JP side. Like we learned that from the JP players.
Yes?
These guys are going through it, honestly. I can't even blame them. I can't even blame them.
Yes?
He'll sprouts if you see them struggling, yeah. Or I'll like, or you just run in if they're about to get clapped by a monster, and I'll just like usually swap to a tank real quick and try to taunt, provoke. Be like, hold up, bucko. Immediately, yeah. It's so annoying. Like it was such a huge annoyance when that started happening, and a lot of that was just because of like the World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, like unfortunately in that raid environment, like if you're pugging, like people just don't have patience. Like just don't have patience at all, and they're just like, if you don't like clear the boss in like 2 or 3 goes, they just instantly leave, and it's just like, bro. Because I'm just a big proponent where I'm just like, if you're not like available to dedicate like, you know, an hour, so, like one thing is obviously if you designate like a farming party and then, you know, you're all struggling or you're not like downing the boss or something, like sure, but a lot of times, like, you know, most of the raid finder fights weren't specifying that, and it was just like, you know, those just, everybody was trying to just do their fights and get their stuff done. But I don't know. That just is what it is, really. But yeah, the raiding community in 14 was pretty good. Not to mention, like, the raid system in general was really nice, especially when they started, like, actually unifying a lot of the markers, a lot of the indicators, right? Like, at the beginning they kind of did it a little bit, but definitely during, like, the Heaven's Ward into, like, Stormblood, like, line of raids and dungeons, they were definitely going out of their way to make sure that the indicators for abilities were the same, right? Like, the stack marker will always be a stack marker. The spread marker, the spread, like, markers will always be that. The, you know, the tank buster marker that will kill you if you are standing near the tank when he gets hit by that, those markers are the same. Like, stuff like that, like, they really started making sure that all the, like, all those markers were lining up, because that way, you know, when a player goes to do raids, they don't have to sit there and be like, huh, what does this ability do, right? Like, it's the marker, and you've been seeing it the whole time while doing dungeons. Like, you know what it does. That's such a good system. And it's why I have, like, a point of contention with when I was watching, like, ExileCon, for Path of Exile, like, that's the Path of Exile convention. They had, like, a lot of big name ARPG people working on it, like, on it for, like, an interview thing. And because they, you know, they have strong connections and they talk to each other. Like, one of them was just like, I don't like just red circles on the ground. And I'm like, look, sometimes you just have to fucking do the red circle on the ground. I don't know. Like, I could get his point for, like, immersion stuff, but for me, it's like, look, a lot of times you guys like to make something green on a green fucking floor because you're like, well, the boss is green. Like, a dog, you better make that fucking circle red as, like, a bright red. I need to see what the hell I'm trying to get out of. Like, I can't be having this, like, thematic, like, color scheme nonsense. Oh my god, I got stuck on his model. That sucks. I got, like, stuck on his model. I need to walk away from him and move in circles. More specific? That's good. That's good. Yeah. Like, it's really good when, like, they do stuff like that, I feel. Like, I don't know. For me, especially when I'm playing an online game, I could care less about, like, how immersive like, an effect that I need to dodge. Bro, what is this boss, dude? Fuck me, dude. This is, like, one of the most melee I mean, I know my void resistance is really fucking dog shit, but, like, bro, what is this, like, melee unfriendly fucking boss I have to deal with? Dog, I hate that in ARPGs. Like, so many ARPGs are so fucking guilty of just making some of the most dog shit, like, melee fights. That fucking, the size of that thing is so big that, like, bruh. How am I supposed to get out of that? I know, like, my move speed's a little on the low side too because I don't have a lot because of this, but, like, bruh, that shit is ridiculous. That's an armor. What the? Believe it. I see if I could roll that into like chaos resistance. But I only have like one more shot at it, and the elemental resistance is good enough. Or not chaos resistance, void resistance. Like, I really just don't have anything to put void resistance on, huh? Mm-hmm. We're gonna lose a lot of like dodge and dexterity, but I don't really have an option. Bro, that fight, like that's the first fight I've had in a while where I'm just like, what is this shit, dude? Like, I know it's because of the resistances, but still, like the size of his stuff is ridiculous. Not to mention that like just yeah, I like what is the size of his like little projectile shit that he has there, dude?
My shadow will cover this world once more. Ah, that's it.
Oh my god, what the? I didn't expect it to stay. This is literally like a fucking hellacious fight for melee. Like, why? What is it with ARPGs and just having a penchant for making some of the most like melee friendly fights? Like, just so many of them. Like, it's always an ARPG problem. It's all what, like, actually, I'd even say it's like just problems for any sort of like action combat game in general. Is they make, there's always gonna be fights that are just not fucking fun to deal with as a melee character.
My shadow will cover this world once more. Ah, that's it. This hates, this despair, oblivion burns within me. This world earns it. Do you deny it? My shadow will cover this world once more.
I blocked that one. I didn't know when I fucking died of it.
This hate, this despair, oblivion burns within me. This world earns it. Do you deny it?
It's like a goddamn, I feel like a raid fight.
My shadow will cover this world once more. Ah, that's it. My vengeance will be paid in ash.
Oh, shush. I had to focus up a little bit for that one.
This world is all.
He almost killed me like twice. Ignite on hit, that's not bad. Never mind. Give me that fucking crit chance, bucko. Bro, that was like, it was. like obviously I understand and there's a way for me to get around that, right? Like I just did it. I just had to like not just sit there and unga bunga. But when you consider the fact that like almost every single fight before I could just ignore what was going on and just unga bunga, like that was it's still not a fun fight to do as melee, honestly, like at all. I think when I was going a little too fast. What is this 9? That would be able to roll higher. It can 14. Wow. Huge. Huge. Cast a blind on hit. Spell void damage. Fire spell cast damage. Chance to cast fire aura when hit. 37% increased void damage per fire aura. Interesting. Interesting. Ba-no. That fucker hurt though, that's for sure. Rain of Drought, Age of Winter. All of you. I'm just trying to find something that has like some sort of item that I want to farm. Because like it kind of does what I was talking about. There's something I was talking about earlier because like people weren't like for the monolith stuff. I don't know if this is new or if it's been in for a while, but like this is kind of like this game's version of like Shaper, Elder, stuff like that. In a way, where it's a specific like boss that you can grind towards that has specific loot. But I think even these bosses like should have like an item that you get that once you get like a certain number, you can open like a special portal to like another boss fight that has its own special loot also. Should be pretty cool. Just give you something to run over and over again for. All right, fuck this place. Here. How much favor do I have? 8,000. We can go see if there's any. Well, we're rank 5, so I need to buy some of the monolith, like at least 2 of the monolith lenses. I put one in the idol and one in the in the weapon ones. I need to spend some favor to get some of these lenses.
To amend the record. How can I help you?
Where is? And then oh, that's reduced chance. Yes, right. Find exalted items. Good. I kind of want the dungeon of it. To be honest, these are the 2 that I want to get rid of just because I don't want. Like, I don't like that they require keys. Get that. There's for accessories. Get rid of the dungeon accessory. Then over here. To the arena. Oh, there we go. That's really cool. I feel like that should just be default though. Dagger sword. Unique shields for what? Oh yeah, that's fine. That weapon, exalted one-handed. I don't care for that. See, if there's any idle prophecies worth grabbing, that Rena, Rena. Death of Fire Lich. Yeah, but that's. I'm just gonna grab this. That one's too good to pass out. It's 3 exalted rings. Oh, that would be really good. I don't know what else. I think it rotates. Let's see. Uniques are twice as likely to have legendary potential. That'll be really good. As for the armor one, I need to like get a glove lens and try to get like basically get a glove lens, unique lens, and then get like the reduced dungeon lens chance. Because I don't want to do the dungeon. I want to do the monolith. I need to like make the other characters and make them pull out the items so they can hold on to it. At least the ones that I know for sure. Like this one's gonna be a sentinel. This one's gonna be a acolyte. Stuff like that. I already had one. Oh. I am very, very glad that I can just right click the key and it just sends me to where it's supposed to be on the map. That's why I thought it was really weird that I had to manually search for the observatory every time, and it's just because I didn't know that Y is the button that pulls up the faction stuff. Looking forward to the whole like league mechanic thing. Whatever league mechanic thing they want to try to do. I was just making sure that it didn't have a level requirement. Sure, we'll just enter into the. Oh, it does stack. That's so weird. I wasn't expecting that.
Too easy.
You can carry currency over from one run to the next. Because this is mostly from the other run I did. That's pretty good, because it means that I don't have to, like... We got a bunch of legendary shields. We also got a lot of arena keys. Nice. Ooh. The slab. Oh, with 2 legendary potential. Ooh. Not bad. 56% reduced function. Damage reflected to attackers. 7% increased flat damage. Reflects to attackers per attunement. Armor, poison resistance, lightning. Not that bad. Plus 116 dodge rating. 40% increased dodge rating for each hit you have blocked. 4% health gained when you dodge. If I could figure out a way to move like the physical resistance to something that's not like the shield slot, I could probably use that shield because that gives a lot of. How much dodge would that give me? And this is why you just grab prophecy. Never know when you're gonna complete them. Oh, damn. Oh, pff, bro. I don't know if I will try it. Not even like I forgot how much physical resistance I have. I did not even actually actively click on that. Oh shit.
Might have to drop something.
I figured it was already dead and he's still trying to hit me. To be honest, I don't actually know if I can finish this dungeon though.
Might have to drop something. Might have to drop something.
This is why like I don't understand why they did this process of having to put that in your inventory and then just having a transfer spot for it anyway. Oh, an acolyte one. I don't think I've ever seen an acolyte one before. What we got? Bleach chance. Good, honey, good. All right. I need to do some of the other dungeons. Oh. This is the only one I've ran, but that's also because it's the only one that I have like so many keys for. I have like 7, 8 keys for this one. I don't know why it like forcibly changes your
Easy. Too easy.
thing back to necrotic. The fire guys have way more annoying abilities than the necrotic dude so far in this area. No! Fuck, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that sucks. Is that the end of the dungeon run? I imagine so, yeah. Did me from the server. Well, even if it wasn't, it is now. I don't even think, I think I'm resistance capped on. Oh, it's just, I should have just swapped when I saw that they were both narcotic. That was just hubris. That was ego. I egoed that. Yeah, that's just the end of the dungeon run. Oh. Yeah, I'm necrotic capped. It's just. Oh. Because these are for the keys. I kind of figured that that was a little too. I wasn't ready for that yet. Oh, there it is. Feel like it. Back. Put them in their little corners. All right, so yeah, I can be 6, 6, 6. All right, yeah. Basically that. And then they can take up their quadrants. Bags on. There you go. The +4 health just really isn't enough to warrant just getting rid of that much block chance. Or block effectiveness, I mean. I might have survived like that one beam if I had the block effectiveness. I keep an eye out for another shield though. Yeah, see, this is the bow stuff I was talking about. It gives you a bunch of block, and then when you have a chance to throw shurikens on block, and for shurikens to ricochet 3 additional times, +3 to shurikens, -3 throwing attack mana cost, and 16% more throwing damage to bosses and rare enemies. That's actually pretty good. Because with Frostbite, all that works together. Go back to the monolith, even though like the server is having a rough time about it.
Hello, traveler.
Fuck. I was trying to see if I could get that before it like phased me over, so I could just get that 1 point back, but no daisuki, no daisuki. All right, back to the monolith grind though. Because like the jumps for the levels on the dungeons are pretty up there. Also means that at least through this area, I should be okay. There's a shield at me. Should be, you know, emphasis on should. Also kind of interesting because I feel like the cost the cost of the tabs themselves, like, basically will exceed the sustainability of the level that you're at in a way that I think that, like, is the developer being like, this is, you know, like, you should be looking, yeah, like, obviously, like, a lot of the stuff I have is just, like, you know, loot filtered, not set up shenanigans. Also because, like, especially on, like, my first character, I like to just collect uniques just to see what kind of things I can do with them. Stuff like that. But, but I definitely need to start getting a loot filter set up. Like, to be honest, I probably shouldn't be like, I definitely, well, I should be at a point where I shouldn't even be looking at blues anymore unless they have, like, really high rolls on their affixes. I'm on the hunt for an exalted shield with a really good, like, exalted set on it, which at this point would be, like, void resistance. Well, actually, no, at this point it would be, like, exalted, like, melee damage with a pretty decent void resistance roll on it. I wouldn't have to spend too much forging potential to get it to T5. And then I would want to try to, get one of the skills locked. To then put, like, other stuff on it. I wonder if you can move an experimental affix over with legendary potential. I wonder if that's a thing you can do. Shield chance. Get a better shield. Because the biggest thing's holding us back right now is one ring that we need to replace and the shield that we would need a better. Like, realistically speaking, I don't want block chance. I would want a shield with dexterity, increased melee damage, and then like probably cold resistance and void resistance. With the exalted stat being either dexterity or melee damage, preferably dexterity. And then our boots, which are still pretty good right now, but could definitely be a lot better. It's just that, like, I would want an exalted dodge rating boots. Another one. Well, either that or an exalted dexterity boots. Like, I'm just trying to stack dexterity on everything. For the extra dodge chance and just the sheer amount of damage it gives. Not to mention it gives me a lot of survivability because my Falcon heals me for... Like, the amount that my Falcon heals me for is based off of my dex. Yeah, because we're at 100,000 already at like 140. That means that, you know, getting like another 270,000 gold for 3 more tabs is decently feasible in this monolith range. What we got? Dexterity. I don't even know if you can get dex on fields. This is the one that I kind of wanted to get. Like, set up. Protective mountain shield. Or the mountain shield. Because it has pretty good block chance, pretty good block effectiveness, and it comes with percentage endurance instead of just flat endurance. So a mountain shield would be really good if we could get it with. That's what we want. This also wouldn't be bad to have. Air fist shield. Bro, that's really good. It's a double stat. Like, it's not what we want, but Fuck, it didn't give it to me. Increased melee elemental. Oh shit, this would be really good for like this base. Melee speed, melee damage, shock on hit, frailty on melee hit. Usable. Chance to bleed, +1 bow lightning damage, even though it's a fire bow. Or +14, I mean. +3 hail of arrows. Fuck. If it wasn't the fact that it's the exalted version, I would try to shatter it. Because you can't get the exalted shards. I mean, I'll still do it because the sword one is actually probably pretty good. Give me one. Nice. Thunder's chance. I don't know what I'm gonna eat for dinner today. Probably something with leftovers. Ooh, don't let go. All your roses on there, so. Hmm. That was weird. Wait. Oh, I don't have to do that off of the stairs. There's some like terrain pieces where if you try to do like transversal skills on them, you just get stuck in place. Melee and throwing damage for you, Falcon. What about me? Oh. Well, that's not that good. I have a shit ton of poison resistance. Do we have a shit ton of poison resistance? I already have a lot of poison resistance. But I think the poison resistance I have is just from the armors. Which I think basically means I'm just gonna probably go for something that's not that. We have poison resistance here. I know we have a bunch from passives. We have 30% from passives. 50% from 50% from here. There's another 30% coming from somewhere else. Probably category element. Poison. Poison, so there's 15 there. It wouldn't be bad to have just when I get to the point where I'm gonna drop those idols. I don't have really good idols right now.
That was close.
Well, I do plan on having more Dusk Shrouds. So. Because the plan is to use the Blade Dancer tree to get the... cap out the passive points for gaining Dusk Shroud on melee. It feels good to be alone. There's something that's not the rogue. Yeah, I can move this point over to there. Oh, actually, no, now I remember why I didn't fall in on this. I'll probably pull like 2 points out and then put it over here. It's because it's melee physical damage. Oh, actually, is it? Wait, does this convert? Added damage applies to the first attack, 150% effectiveness. I find it interesting that this doesn't scale off of dexterity, but this scales off of dexterity, and this scales off of... I guess in a way, this is probably just getting stronger. Well, I mean, it's also melee, so it's gonna get stronger even with this. I should have 5 points. Yeah, I should just take these points down. But the dodge rating while is nice and all, but I don't think it's really worth. I think it's fine if I just put like 1 point into it. But the move speed would be pretty good. Yeah, we'll do that after this go. There were so many rares around him, I didn't know what it wanted me to do. Sorry, my phone's being a little... Okay, there. Like 6 more. To be honest, I have half a mind to just drop the specialization on aerial assault. And put smoke screen in. Well, to be honest, I have half of mine as dropping that and just going for shift instead. One less ability to tie up my falcon off. Oh, it did drop the smoke bomb, it just didn't appear graphically. What I don't understand is like, all right, so this is tier 6. This is the max, like, it's not the max, it's the second highest like tier you can get. Tier 7 is the highest. For a melee critical strike champ. But it's 13%, which tells me that the way it like it maths the crit chance is a little insane. Then I'm assuming this means it's probably a multiplier. And this spear would be really fucking good if it wasn't like just centered around fire damage. Because I do want to do a Swarm Blade Serpent thing. Ooh. Pretty good, that's pretty good. I wish I had a rogue one for that. Wish I had a rogue one for that. A rogue idol with a bunch of crit on it would be pretty nice. Pretty nice ski.
Hello, traveler.
I wish there was a... It's like, for instance, for the prophecies, there's a spot where you can turn off... You can turn off, like, the confirmation thing. For, I'll probably put 1 point here just because 20 after getting hit is pretty... But definitely, this is, yeah, that's... Yeah, that's pretty good. Because this will still help for the bird. Rise of melee weapon, can't do anything off of that. That's dual wielding. Blade mass. And then 5 points into there, and then we can go back here to finish capping this out. I do. Part of me does and doesn't like the whole being a, like having like a spot that you actually physically move to, like queue for that map area. Because like visually it's really cool, but like that's something that, you know, you have to keep teleporting, and they put teleport points, right? So you don't have to like run for it, like you don't have to go like walking around to get to it. But it can also be a little tedious if you have to keep going back and forth. But luckily there really isn't much reason to be going back and forth, so it's not too big of a deal in the long run. But I do know that I feel like some players are probably gonna have a gripe about it. Like, what do you mean I have to move more than just going in a circle around my little portal generator thingy? Oh, is this gonna? Please don't tell me this. The boss for this is what it is. Okay, that's a storm cage. I thought it was the spy master dude.
Easy. Too easy.
Getting a little ballsy with some of the things. Kind of just stand in. That almost killed me. That did a lot of damage. That dealt a lot of damage, and I just did it like a moron. I'm capped on cold resist. Favorite part of it is just because I keep trying to go off with using my doing this. Smoke screen so I can get my one hit vulnerability, which then gives me like 300 ward. Hey. I'm back. Good. Get the 20 billion of blankets. You brought attention. I am now embarrassed. Yes. No naps in the full seas. Dude. It's almost time for me to go. I'm gonna eat a little bit. You gotta calm down with all those fucking laser beams, you know. Okay. I think we have time to run one more, and then I will go find out what I'm gonna eat. I can definitely tell that, like, that one ring and the shield situation's kind of holding us back a little bit. But there ain't really a whole lot I can do about that, unfortunately. Because I'd like one of these to have, like, all the stats I want, right? With, like, dex, probably added fire damage, with like, void resistance and some other stuff, but I haven't been able to get it yet. Unfortunately. Oh, it's a wand. For me, that looked like a gun. It looked like a rifle. Like a musket. Effect? No, we'll go for... There's no, like, beacons. Try to see if I can find a beacon to show me, like, better paths around. I can tell a lot of the damage values are kind of nutty. A lot of it's also just because I need more dexterity. But I want to get that shot stuff. That was it. Looking for more of those exiled mages. Then I can try to get more of the runes. Could be dice. Oh, fire resistance with chance to bleed on hit. Oh, that'd be really good for a bleed build. There's some pretty interesting, like, higher up stuff. like for relics and stuff like that. Product damage. Critical strike avoidance. Let's do black, yeah, by dark quiver. Because like the problem is black arrows. Or dark quiver stuff buffs your bow attack, but then this gives you increased damage while wielding a dagger. Not even a point, hold on to it. But that's gonna be it for the day stream. How's our stability looking? Or bad? We've only really just started in this one. Yeah. I'm gonna go see if I can. If there's any prophecies to grab real quick. I take a peek at who we're gonna go say hello to. Not much in the way of like character progress, like item wise, in this for this play session, but we were able to push forward on just the content, right? Like getting through the monoliths, stuff like that. So let's see if we can get some.
You have returned.
Wait, no, not you.
What is it that you see?
Got to me. If there's any prophecies you need. Exalted, but that's tier 4 arena. We're not gonna be able to do that for a while. Unique idol, monolith 50 corrupted. Can't do that. Can't. I'm gonna be able to do anyway. Yep. Thought we can afford it anyway. But we're gonna say hi to Mew. He's playing some Final Fantasy 14, so we're gonna go say hello. So you know, we were talking a decent amount about it earlier. And then I'm gonna go figure out what to eat for dinner because I am hungry because I had a very light lunch. But thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. We'll probably continue on this character tonight, and then I think I might start on the Reaper soon if I get some more stuff for it. But we'll see how it goes. But if it was a day for you, hope you have a good day. If it was a day for you, hope you rest well. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and do see you again in the next one. Bye bye.